I usually get some questions about basic little planet things on Instagram, and I realized that I forgot to share the most obvious steps of creating these images. So this time I will guide you through the full process until uploading your content on Instagram. Hi guys, it's GabaVR here again. Well, I think actually this is the first time in this series when I'm saying it, but it's quite important because I use this nickname on Instagram and here on YouTube too. I don't make it a secret, you can even find my full name on Instagram, so my first name is Gabor, which is a very popular form of Gabriel here in Hungary, but I don't use Gabe or any other nicknames, I simply use Gaba. The second part of this nickname is obvious. As you might see in my channel, I create 360 and VR contents, or that is what I'm talking about all the time. And in this video, now I'm going to tell you the 5 steps of creating little planet photos on smartphone. The first step is, of course, taking a photo. This time I have this very funny one. This photo looks like I would be taking a 360 photo with one single DSLR with one click. The trick is that I'm holding the camera in one hand and my 360 camera with a selfie stick in the other. It's very important that the camera must be in line with the selfie stick, so it will be totally invisible on the image. I use a smartphone to set up the ISO, shutter speed and the 10-second self-timer. After that I hide the phone and shoot pushing the shutter button to activate self-timer shooting. So the first step is taking a picture. I usually use my Tera, but when I shoot videos with my Kodak rig, I like to export frames from the video too and turn them into a little planet. So the source is not so important, the point is to have a well-staged spherical image. The second step is moving your photo to your phone. Tera has a very fast and effective application to transfer photos right after shooting or download them manually, but I believe all the consumer cameras have this option. When I use photos exported from 360 video footages, I use iTunes to synchronize the image with my phone. Of course, I have a desktop workflow too, which you can see in one of my previous videos. That video is about creating holy planets, but I also show you how to create little planets in Insta360 Studio and Photoshop. So hopefully it can be useful if you are looking for a post-production workflow on computer. But let's go back to smartphones. Once I have my photo on the phone, it's time to turn it into a little planet. I have 2 applications to do this, RollWorld and TeraPlast. Both are free applications and work with any spherical images. RollWorld is very easy, just browse the image and set up the best settings. The basic setting is a kind of little planet, but you can turn it into an inverted planet too. I usually use the first slider to set it up, then I use the last slider to set up zoom, and one more slider to rotate the image. There are 3 other options which I don't really use at all. This one creates a weird spinning effect. This one mirrors one side of the image somehow, and the second slider modifies the stitching. This is quite useless for me as I always have well-stitched photos at this point. So I set up the planet style, the zoom and the rotation. Then I push the play button on the right top corner. I use the free application, so I don't have options to create animations. I choose the only thing I can, called picture on screen. Then I select fit crop image to square background and push the slider to the left. This way there will be no outline or frame around the image. Then I go along with the arrow button. Now I select the best image size, which is 4K. It means all your image size will be 4000 pixels long. Finally, I save it to camera roll. After this first step, I go to Lightroom Mobile to retouch. I have a whole video where I show you this workflow, so now I just skip it. After retouching the image, sometimes I use Snapseed to make some fine corrections, mostly to hide stands from the image or sometimes any other disturbing details. I usually use this with photos I had exported from my 360 videos, because most of the videos are shot with a tripod or something like that, so it's quite appropriate in those cases. Then finally I upload the image on Instagram. But this is not over yet. I like RollWorld because it creates nice square images which are perfect for Instagram. But I have another app called TeraPlast, which creates longer rectangular images, so the whole little planet style looks a little bit differently. I launch the app and select Edit Image. Then I browse the image and choose Little Planet View. RollWorld creating square images affects the photo very differently. Of course you can crop the image in TeraPlast, but it doesn't affect the whole geometry of the image. I just crop out the middle of it. So most of the times I prefer Rollworld for Instagram, but in Instagram stories, TerraPlast is much better because you have a full screen size little planet. It looks better than cropping the square image you created in Rollworld. So this is my basic workflow: shooting an image or export it from a 360 video, uploading the spherical photo to my smartphone, editing spherical image with Rollworld or TerraPlast, retouching the image with Lightroom or Snapseed if it's needed, and finally uploading to Instagram or Instagram stories. I hope you find my advice is useful, and if you do, please thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you are interested about Little Planet photography, feel free to follow me on Instagram too. It was GabaVR, see you soon guys!